It's a ton of work.
We had our 6 filmmakers selected.
I have to warn you, Megan.
So you've seen a lot of chaos.
Oh, yeah. Nothing was on time.
No.
In January 2025, the National Film Board of Canada selected 6 young filmmakers from across the country to participate in Hothouse 15, an intensive mentorship program where they have just 3 months to create a 1-minute animated short film. They'll have access to state-of-the-art studios, sound and music recording, mixing facilities, and a professional crew to guide them every step of the way. I'm Maral Mohammedian, and I've been a part of Hothouse since, well, for a long time. Welcome to Hothouse 15.
Brain dump. Like, whoa. 1.
When they came in the morning, big meeting to say, like, that everybody showed up at, in the cafeteria to say hi, which was really nice.
Yeah, it was super scary.
You're very nonchalant.
No, you.
Animation is complicated. In the professional world, even a short film can take years to complete. But here, Abby, Max, Megan, Aaron, Katie, and Mitchell will have only 12 weeks. Lucky for them, they've got Lillian and Fred to help guide them.
He is the point person, the producer we talk to on a daily basis, like the microscopic level.
He's our hero.
He's our hero, Fred. He's like the floodgates in between us and the producers, yeah. Like everybody goes to Fred with just everything. Technical, emotional, physical.
This is my first Hothouse as associate producer, but not my first Hothouse. I was in Hothouse 6 as a participant.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is a little bit of a full circle moment for me.
And we have Lillian, who is our mentor, and she is like more of a supportive role. It was like giving us suggestions of what can be changed, what can be added, what can be cut.
And then, yeah, the kind of week itself was super fascinating. Every day was so jam-packed with like workshops and learning about how the next 12 weeks would go.
So this is our new Hothouse space. We have workstations set up for each of them for this, mainly for this week. The following week, when a lot of them go home, some of them will take some drives. They'll have computers sent to them as well.
During week 1, the filmmakers arrive from across Canada at the NFB's headquarters in Montreal for orientation week. They participate in workshops, we have our first major production meeting, and it's where they have a chance to get familiar with the tools they'll be using. Afterwards, the filmmakers return to their home provinces to continue developing and making their films. This involves sketching, painting, building, 3D modeling, meeting with mentors, and, well, bringing their stories to life. They'll be back here for week 12 to complete the sound mix and the mastering, and to present their finished films in the iconic Alanisa Bomb Swing Theatre in front of the entire film board, which includes some of Canada's finest filmmakers. So it's no big deal. If all goes well, which it has to because failure is not an option, their shorts will premiere on the NFB streaming platform for audiences across the country and beyond. And it all begins with the storyboard.
Like the storyboard presentation was for me like the most stressful of all.
Was it on Wednesday?
Yeah, it was like super early. It was kind of a big room, like the first big room we had to like present.
It's a pretty big meeting because it really lays out where their film is going to go and whether or not it's possible.
I feel like I'm kind of more used to with like residencies or back in school, you kind of pitch this idea and then they're like, great. Like, I'll see you at the very, very end, and you can kind of just keep your head down and just make it. You know, there's all these kind of pointed questions, not that they're trying to like pick it apart, but you just didn't expect to be asked those kind of things.
You know how intense it could be, and to just jump into that, like, is very difficult. You land, you have 2.5 days to make your storyboards and present it, and you're meeting everybody, you're touring the facility.
Definitely like the most, I think for everybody, the most professional setting you've ever done it. Like in front of people that are professionals. Yeah.
Storyboarding is the first step in the animation process. It's where filmmakers must sketch out the key beats of their story and have them approved by producers. They work with their mentor to establish a structure that is as impactful as possible and feasible within production timeframe. Take Abby, for instance. Her story is about a puffin who has hands instead of wings and develops an unlikely friendship with a fisherman. Abby builds her world using a whittling technique inspired by Nova Scotian folk art. Then she animates her puppets in stop motion. This is no joke. It's meticulous and time-consuming. So, at the storyboarding stage, she discovers, mercifully, that she doesn't need to show the fisherman's face at all. With one less complicated element to build and animate, she saves herself weeks of work. And every second counts. Storyboards are a communication tool, a way for filmmakers to align with producers and to keep their projects on track. For people new to the process, it can be really overwhelming. Often, storyboarding means letting go of beautiful ideas. It can be really challenging for any artist. But this critical creative decision-making early on helps to get to the core of what you're trying to express, and it creates space for the strongest elements of the story to really shine.
It's just like, I don't think there's one way to do a storyboard. This is actually the first storyboard I ever did to show people. It's just like frame by frame to show people what the story is.
I did it for like my thesis project at school, but back in school I had more time to prepare for all these like meetings.
For you, like in 1 minute to have this, it's not like a really complex story, but it can be a long story to tell.
Yeah.
So you need to find a way to be like as effective in 1 minute as you can.
To even just make sense, to be honest.
I'm almost done. We're about, I think, 2 hours. Wait, what time? We're about 2 hours away from the presentation, and I'm at my last slide. But I would say mine is not as professional looking as.
No, it is. Bro, you're lying.
Yeah. No, Abby's is really good. Like, it's very clear.
You got yours all colored though.
Mine's more abstract, so mine's in 3D, so I'm not really good at drawing. So.
Says the graphic designer.
Says the graphic designer. The only thing we know how to do is kerning. That's the only thing we know.
With animation, you have to leave enough room to actually do the production. So if you have to settle on a story and the beats of what's happening, the design, to allot for enough time to actually complete the animation itself. So with 12 weeks, there isn't a lot of room to make major changes within that component. And so it's hard for a filmmaker because you always can think of different ways to tell a story, or when different ideas pop up, it's very easy to want to chase that in order to try to make something improved or different. But in some ways, it's committing to something and making a decision to move forward with that process. So we're here to kind of put those guardrails on and say, you know, storyboarding has to happen week 1, week 2, and a sign-off, or else you won't be able to complete everything by this time.
But you look, I know you didn't sleep that night for the storyboard presentation, but you look like you were so in control of everything.
I think it's because I wasn't intoxicated, but I was drunk from sleep deprivation in a way that I didn't care as much. It was like, okay, let's get this over with.
And this shot, I kind of want to show, basically, I want to convey the feeling of guilt. So this is one of my favorite shots in Thirst. Two people are making love, and in between them is a person they just killed, but it's not real, it's in their dream. And because of that guilt, because of that shame, because of that horror they experienced, every time they make love, this person manifests as a physical body. Anyway.
Then after that week, after hanging out with everyone, it felt like it was really easier to have any type of presentation afterward.
They're seeing things in it that you don't see or haven't thought about.
They just believed you and whatever you said about your story.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to make a film of good vibes, good energy the whole way through. And they were like, well, it would be kind of stronger if it actually had something happen in it. So, which was good. I think it changed visually more than anything. It's still kind of basically the same idea of the kind of sun rising over this planet and people going from being alone and isolated to coming together. But now it starts completely black and white, and kind of color is added and energized through the world. Whereas before the color was always there, it was more just like alone to together, but now it's like cold to warm and black and white to colorful.
I know Erin, when she was sharing what she wanted to do, it had changed from the proposal. Yeah, it just because she was, I think thematically it was the same, but she was already thinking about what she wanted. We were discussing the changes and what things made sense to change and what things really strayed very far from the initial theme.
There was a lot of rigorous discussion
around
conceptually why Mr. Woods works so well.
Yeah, he became like an angel at one point.
And a vampire.
And a vampire.
Yeah.
And he came back to Mr. Woods.
Came back to Mr. Woods.
And just like that, the whirlwind of week 1 is over. Abby, Erin, Katie, Max, Megan, and Mitchell are now fully immersed in the pressure cooker. The next step is to put their storyboards onto a timeline and see them start to come to life. But of course, there will be many more surprises and twists and turns. This is the joy and the agony of the development phase.
Stop motion!
He did sound design and music this year.
Even though it's animation, I want the tone of the film to be more adult and more mature.
I had no idea of what it looked like.